Nikola Tesla's time machine is said to have been made but hidden from humanity. And then we have an account of the Old Testament Bible, Jeremiah, and something that happened that had Abimelech lose time. Apparently, Nikola Tesla was very passionate about time travel. He worked with a machine and reportedly achieved something impossible, as he had said, quote, "I could see the past, the present, and the future at the same time," end quote. Nikola Tesla, a name, and we don't need recommendations, the greatest mind of this time, far ahead of everyone else. His ideas and inventions come from another era, from another planet, literally the man who invented our time. In 1895, while conducting his experiments, he conceived an incredible idea that time and space could be strongly influenced by the use of charged rotating magnetic fields, and his idea came from his experiments on the transmission of electricity through the atmosphere. Remember the famous harp, which is used for purposes other than that Tesla himself dreamed of, and namely the autonomy of humanity in terms of energy. Tesla's idea was applied several years later to a now well-known experiment called the Philadelphia experiment and the Montauk experiments, which was designed to conduct time travel experiments. And by conducting experiments, Tesla discovers that opening a door to time is possible, as time can be distorted. But in addition to discovering the dangers of such a venture, jumping in time is not a simple matter. On March 13, 1859, he confessed to the New York Herald reporter about his experiments, as he could have been killed by the blast that struck him in the shoulder, and his assistant was able to turn off the engine before things got worse, he said. He also mentions that he could see the past and future, but was motionless and paralyzed in an electromagnetic field. Remember again the Philadelphia experiment, where the sailors who took part in the experiment were out of time for a longer time than the Tesla, with tragic results for them. Nowadays, we can only speculate about conducting these experiments in the hope that one day they will be revealed. Now, unfortunately, there are no documents which are able to support these allegations. However, Tesla tried to succeed in time travel, and he was certainly not the only scientist to try it. The idea that people are able to travel through time has sparked the imagination of millions around the world. If we look back at history, we'll find many texts that can be interpreted as proof of time travel. When Albert Einstein published his theory of relativity in 1905, he caused a stir in the scientific community, opening the page to many questions such as the possibility of time travel. There is further evidence of time travel in the Bible, according to Erich von Däniken. Quote, "In the Bible, the prophet Jeremiah was sitting with some of his friends, a young boy. The boy's name was Abimelech, and Jeremiah said to Abimelech, 'Go out of Jerusalem. There is a hill with a fig tree. Pick figs and bring them to eat.' The boy, going to pick fresh figs, suddenly hears a noise in the air and loses consciousness. When he woke up, he ran back to the city, which was full of strange soldiers. And he says, 'What is going on here? Where is Jeremiah and everyone else?' And an old man answers, 'This was 62 years ago. This is a story you may refer to as a journey through time written in the Bible,' end quote. This is what Erich von Däniken said. So if we look at the Mahabharata, written in the 8th century BC in India, in the Hindu texts, King Raivata is described as traveling to the heavens to meet the creator god Brahma, and returns to Earth hundreds of years later. In Japan, the legend of Urashima Taro tells a story of a fisherman's visit to the patron god of the sea, Ryujin, in an underwater palace. When he returns to his fishing village, he finds that 300 years have passed. Perhaps all of the above are inspired by great thinkers to try and find a way to achieve time travel. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. This is from a Greek article I've translated for you. Thank you. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.